Welcome back to Pikachu making random noises at me while I'm waiting to start the episode. Pikachu makes random noises all the time. Okay, can I turn down the background music just a little bit? Actually, no, we'll turn the background music up just a little bit. So we're supposed to follow Holiday where we last left off. Trying to figure out who stole jewelry? There he is. Tim! I appreciate you coming on such short notice, Tim. This way, the crime took place at the dentist residence up ahead. Go to the scene of the crime. Ah, yes, I love going through the gate to go through my door. Oh, never mind. Just going to a different area. Oh, it's a minute trick!
Well, if it isn't the great detectives.
Brad McMaster, Rhyme City Police Lieutenant. Was this from the last game? Minute trick, dedicated to law and order. That was a cry and a half. It's been a while, Brad. I see you're on the case too. I suppose that means you are as well. You private detectives do love sticking your nose into every little thing. If Mr. Dennis hasn't requested you personally, I'd be asking you to leave right now. Yep, he's still a jerk. Think he's still holding a grudge from that time we showed him up? Maniac! He says no funny business. Sheesh, no wonder you two are partners. That's enough, Brad. We're going to be conducting this investigation together. This is the scene of the crime, right? Furo! We have a Furo flying by. Yes, this mansion belongs to Sanjeev Dennis, a jeweler. The Dennis residence. Mr. Dennis is one of the wealthiest men in Rhyme City. Under normal circumstances, a civilian like yourself would never have the opportunity to meet him. Make sure you don't do anything to offend him. Oh, and don't get in the way of our investigation either. He's just gonna get to a dig in somewhere, doesn't he? Okay, Tim, come inside. Shouldn't have continued the gruff voice for Pikachu because this is actually hurting my throat. MJ. Oh, look, guys, it's the Heart Gold and Soul Silver reference. The Johto Remakes reference. Johto Remakes, let's go!
I see.
Alright, Tim. Mr. Dennis is waiting for you in the room to the right. Thanks, Inspector Holiday. Yeah, so we can look at these paintings. The name of this painting is Golden Sunrise, and it depicts Ho-Oh, a Pokemon that's spoken of in legends. It's gonna be Legends Johto! They say it brings eternal happiness and that its wings shine with rainbow-colored light. Rainbow-colored light, huh? The painting sure is beautiful, but I bet the real thing is even more breathtaking. I don't want to talk to you. Oh, that was, kind of creepy. Just, jump scare. Jump scare. And then we got... The name of the painting is Silver Waves, and it depicts Lugia, a Pokemon known as the Guardian of the Seas. It's rumored to live deep down on the ocean floor, but no one's ever seen it. That makes sense. The ocean floor is not exactly a place you just casually visit. Yeah, there's definitely got to be Johto games coming soon, and I'm excited if that's the next game's coming, because I love Johto. Johto's my favorite region of the Pokemon world, so go into the room on the right. Is this where we get to use Growlithe to sniff out clues? Sanjeev Dennis. A jeweler. Growlithe, guard at the dentist residence. Oh, that was so sad, the noise he made. Oh, that was so sad. My name is Sanjeev Dennis. I'm a jeweler, and this is my partner, Growlithe. Oh. I'm Detective Tim Goodman, and this is my partner, Pikachu. Sorry to jump right into it, but could you please tell us what you know about the incident? The precious jewel was stolen while I was out of the house. It's called the Aurora Drop. It's a very rare jewel indeed. The Aurora Drop? What a mysterious name. Magical, even. The thief injured one of my staff members and made off with the jewel. You gotta test him. Oh, come on. Is something sticking out to you as odd? Well, the police are treating my trusted butler as the prime suspect. They think the butler did it. Could you tell me a bit more about the stolen jewel? It looks like this. Most gemstones must first be cut and polished into beautiful jewels, but the Aurora Drop is said to have naturally formed into its shape. The way it shines looks a bit like an aurora. Yes, that's precisely how it got its name. The Aurora Drop has been the subject of many a tale, but it was thought to be nothing more than fiction. Even among us jewelers, for the longest time we'd call it the Jewel of Legend. Wow, he wasn't kidding when he called it precious. Guess it's no surprise that someone wanted to steal it. It definitely sounds valuable. Where were you displaying it? I kept it securely locked within a special reinforced case inside my jewel's storage room. There are locks on both the storage room door and the reinforced case. And yet, despite all that security, it still got stolen. About your trusted butler. Yes, they believe that the thief is my own trusted butler, Barnes. Why do they think that? Because Barnes and I are the only people who can access the key to the storage room. What's keeping someone else from getting to it? The key is always kept around Growlithe's neck. If anyone but Barnes and myself attempt to take it from her, Growlithe would start barking. My Growlithe is a very loyal Pokemon. She would never allow the key to be taken by a stranger. I don't see a key around Growlithe's neck right now. The police think Barnes took it. Well, Tim, really, do you think the key's gonna be there? That would certainly make sense, assuming Barnes really is the culprit. Mr. Dennis, if possible, I'd like to talk with Barnes. He's currently being questioned by the police. But you don't believe Barnes is the thief, is that correct? I've known Barnes since we were young. He's worked in this home for years and has always served us well. I'm certain that he'd never steal from me. I couldn't possibly imagine him hurting anyone. So you're saying Barnes didn't do it, and the real culprit is still at large. That's right, someone else must have stolen the jewel. Please help me prove that Barnes is innocent. So that's why you called us here, to clear his butler's name. We'll talk to Barnes later. So, finding the Aurora Drop and clearing Barnes of suspicion, those are the two things you called us here to do. Could you please? You're the only ones I can count on. Our job is to investigate the case and reveal the truth. We won't know if Barnes is truly innocent until we look into this more. Yeah, the police must have at least some reason to suspect him. But we'll do what we can. If that's acceptable to you, we'll take the case. That's more than acceptable. Thank you, Tim. Great, in that case, I might start investigating the scene of the crime. Of course, the jewel storage room is just upstairs. I know you won't let me down. Well, don't put all that pressure on me. Wait a sec, Tim. There's something I want to try, starting with this case. Something you want to try? Yeah, a case notebook. The writers for Detective Journal swear by it. Detective Journal? That's the magazine you're always reading, right? Yep, that's the one. They researched the most efficient way for detectives to organize their case notes. I pressed the wrong button. The solution they came up with was a case notebook. Sounds intriguing. How does it work? I'm getting to that. First, open up your notebook. Okay. First, let's write in the notebook any burning questions that arise while we're investigating. We'll summarize the testimony and evidence that we've gathered during our investigation on the page below. After we've collected enough evidence and testimonies and evidence, the begin deducing option will appear. I can't speak English today. When you select this, we can start deducing the answers to our questions. We don't have enough testimonies or evidence right now, but once we do, we'll be able to start deducing. I guess actually using the notebook is the best approach. So, Tim, what do we have to do right now? We have to collect testimonies and evidence to figure out how the jewel was stolen. To do that, we first have to investigate the scene of the crime. That's right. Let's go check out the jewel storage room. That's what I was doing before you interrupted me, Pikachu. That's what I was trying to do. Is this the jewel storage room? Oh, okay, no. Alright. Never mind. I'm sorry. It's a cottony. The jewel storage room has been left exactly as it was at the time of the incident. Inspector Holliday's already filled me in. Please go right ahead.
Yes.
Thank you. That looks like Whimsicott fluff. But that still doesn't explain how they got in here, because I don't think there's any windows. What is it, Pikachu? I checked out the door, but there are no signs of forced entry. Then we can be fairly certain that the thief used a key to get in. According to Dennis, the rooms where the Aurora drop used to be. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so we've got Green Jewel. We got a beautiful jewel. A bolt of brilliance. We got a blue jewel, and it's like the ocean. And then we got a red jewel, and it's lava. This area looks more disturbed than the rest. Let's start investigating. We might find a clue. Alright, don't let any details slip past you, Tim.
Let me see.
Let's see, where should we look first? Well, there is a blue feather here. There's a blue feather. Do you think the Pokemon it belonged to was in this room? Maybe it's from a Pokemon that lives in the mansion. Let's look into that later. Okay, so we got that clue done. It looks intact. This is the only case that's damaged. Oh no, it's cut in half. You can see that. It is cut in half. This must be where they kept the Aura drop. The edge looks like it was sliced clean with a blade. What kind of blade could slice this cleanly through such a sturdy jewel case? Pikachu, what are you doing? It looks like part of the jewel case. Based on the shape, do you think the top half of the case was cut off? Yeah, it looks that way. It's really clean cut. Dang it, I clicked the wrong button again. And then we got... There's some cotton on the ground. It looks really fluffy and soft. What's a bunch of cotton doing in here? I think that's...
Whoa.
Wait, did I not check everything here? Oh! The jewel case is still locked. Like Dennis said, the jewel in this case was stored under lock and key. And the key to the case is a different key than the one to the jewel storage room door. I wonder who has the key then?
Right.
You've covered everything I was wondering about. Any other spots you want to check? No, you said we're done, so there's nothing else to check. Oh, just some more fluff.
Hey, Tim. Check it out. Looks good, huh? Disguises are a key part of detective work, you know.
Yeah, whatever. Now quit goofing off and investigate.
Ah. He clearly doesn't appreciate my art. Perhaps I need to give him a little more training.
So that was literally just for a cutscene. Okay, beautiful.
Okay, let's start deducing.
Alright, we can start deducing. Begin deducing.
Okay.
You've probably figured out how the culprit stole the jewel by now, eh? Alright, begin deducing in your notebook. Okay.
Okay.
You have a few plausible theories. Which do you think is right? I mean, that's literally the one that I saw.
Okay.
From what we've seen of the crime scene, we can tell that the jewel case was sliced open. After that, the Aurora drop was removed from the case and taken away. Right, we saw that the jewel case is still locked, which supports that claim. We still need to investigate more to determine how the case was sliced open. But at least now we know how the thief got their hands on the Aurora drop. Yeah, we've made our first step forward. So,
Okay.
we got the first clue in that it was cut open. My guess could be maybe like... Because maybe Samurai, I know they're good at cutting things with their razor shell. Maybe Scissor. Who knows? You understand how to use the case notebook now? Yep. Once I got some evidence, I'll start deducing. Feel free to start deducing whenever you feel like it. After investigating the scene, we now know how the case was carried out. The crime was carried out. We can be certain that the culprit sliced open the case and took the jewel from inside. But there's just one thing that's strange. Oh yeah? Yeah, Tim. Yeah, think, Tim. What's strange about the way the case was committed? Yeah, the door wasn't cut. But the jewel case was still locked when it was sliced apart. That's right. So that means the thief only had one of the keys, the one to the storage room. They didn't have the key to the jewel case. According to Mr. Dennis, only he and Barnes can access the jewel storage room. I understand why the police suspect Barnes, but I'm not so sure. Obviously, it'd be best if we could talk to Barnes ourselves, but he's still being questioned. We need to ask Mr. Dennis about the lock on the jewel case. Right. After we wrap up here, let's go ask him. Oh, he's right there. How's the investigation going, Tim? Oh, Mr. Dennis, we were just gonna actually leave to talk to you, but then you showed up. Sorry, I couldn't stand just waiting around. Have you discovered anything? It does appear that the culprit used the storage room key to gain entry. We believe they then cut open the jewel case and took the Aurora drop. Is that so? I suppose that doesn't help Barnes much, since he has access to the key. I have a question for you, Mr. Dennis. Who has the key to the jewel case? I have it right here. I always carry the key to the jewel case on my person. I've known Barnes a very long time, but I still won't give him this key. That's pretty smart, to be fair. The security of the jewel case is my personal responsibility. Got it, so both Barnes and Dennis can access the key to the jewel storage room, but only Mr. Dennis has access to the key to the jewel case itself. That's valuable information, Mr. Dennis, thank you. Really? I thought I might be getting in the way, but I'm glad to hear I could help. The Aurora Drop is meant to become a symbol of revival for Rhyme City. Anyway, I'm counting on you, Tim. Symbol of revival? Let's ask Dennis about that later. Is Barnes the culprit? The thief cut open the case to steal the jewel, but they had the key to get into the storage room. And the only people who have access to that key are Dennis and Barnes, so it makes sense that the police would suspect Barnes. If the key hadn't been used to unlock the storage room, Barnes wouldn't be under suspicion in the first place. Why would he do that, knowing people would suspect him? Maybe he didn't think that far ahead. In any case, based on what we found at the scene of the crime, we can't be certain of anything just yet. We need to talk to Barnes and the other people in the mansion and hear what they have to say. Not just the people, the Pokemon too. I'll interpret for you when we talk to them. Alright, I'm counting on you, Pikachu. Okay, now that we've got our next steps figured out, let's start interviewing everyone right away. I am not going to begin deducing yet. I have not figured out the case yet. Hey Tim, there's something on the floor by the window. Should we check it out? Oh. It's another blue feather. What's a Pokemon that has blue feathers? Ducklet! Is this where the Ducklet comes in? What's all this? Pokemon feathers? Sure looks like it. They're scattered all over the floor and the window's open. Maybe a Pokemon got in or out through here. Do you think it has anything to do with this case? Look at this. One of these feathers is darker than the others. You're right. The other 6 are a lighter shade of blue. Something about that is nagging at me. So, there are Switch icons that you can get for this game. And one of them I got was the Ducklet Switch icon. Is this where we find out what the Ducklet's doing? The room is currently being searched by the police. Oh, okay. Well, that sucks then. Let's go downstairs. We are going to investigate Minute Trick. Hey, I got a couple questions to ask. Got a minute? Don't want to waste time chatting while you're on duty, huh? Awfully stubborn, aren't you? You're even harder to talk to than Brad's Minute Trick. Well, come on, man. Okay, Lieutenant McMaster is currently interviewing Mr. Barnes in this room.
Excuse me?
Guess it'd be too much to ask for us to join in, right? I'm afraid we can't allow even the great Detective Tim to do that. Police protocol, you understand? Okay, so we can interview you.
Hello there, Detective Tim. Oh, Detective Goodman?
Larry Turner, newest staff member of the Dennis residence. Wait, you are the detective, right? That's what Mr. Dennis said, at least. The name's... Wait, that's not proper enough, sorry. My name is Larry Turner, and I'm a member of the house staff. House staff, huh? Seems in over his head. If you need anything, just let me know. Please inform me if... You really don't have to be so formal with us. Thanks, that's a huge relief. I got this job a while ago, but I'm still not used to talking all fancy. Uh-oh, is that a problem? Well, it's a good thing for me that Barnes deals with all the important guests. My main duties are taking care of the Pokemon, managing the house, and groundskeeping. And I can handle all that, no problem. I don't know, this guy isn't exactly filling me with confidence in his ability to do his job. Anyway, you wanted to ask about what happened, right? I already told the police everything I know. I'm really sorry for taking up more of your time. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant. I'm not complaining or anything. It's just that I don't remember what happened very well. Something attacked me out of nowhere and I blacked out. Something attacked him. So not the thief, then. Can you please tell us more about that, Mr. Turner? Sure, no problem. About the crime that took place. Right, so where to start? I was doing my job like normal today. I'd made food for the Pokemon, did some cleaning around the mansion, that sort of thing. I think I was tidying the garden when it happened. I saw Ducklet fly out of a 2nd-story window. As I recall, I wondered where she was going. Usually Ducklet just walks out the front door. It seemed weird to me, so I went upstairs to see what was going on. That's when I saw the door to the jewel storage room was wide open. As if it wasn't shocking enough, the moment I went to look inside, I suddenly got punched by a Pokemon. Next thing I knew, I was lying on a sofa and someone was treating my wounds. The Pokemon punched you? Yeah, I feel like I glimpsed a small red figure for just a moment. Based on the size, it couldn't have been human, so I'm guessing it was a Pokemon. A red Pokemon, do you know what kind it was? I'm not really sure, it happened all happened so fast. I see, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm glad you weren't seriously hurt. That's what the doctor said too. No Pokemon would want to steal the Aurora Drop. It's possible that the culprit ordered their partner Pokemon to swipe the jewel and punch out Turner. So Tim, now that you've heard Turner's story, what do you think? We need to find the ducklet that flew out the window and that red Pokemon too. Yep, you got it. So, about the culprit...
Excuse me?
Did you see anything else when the Pokemon attacked you? The thief who brought the Pokemon along was probably nearby. Unfortunately, that's all I saw. I see. Can you think of any other details that might give us a clue about the culprit? Nothing in particular is coming to mind. I mean, Mr. Dennis is such a nice person. I've never heard of anyone holding a grudge against him. And I was really surprised to hear that Barnes is a suspect. You don't think Barnes is responsible? I guess the police must have some reason to suspect him. And honestly, I just can't believe it. Barnes is still showing me the ropes around here. He's a great coworker with tons of experience. I mean, if you'd known Barnes before all this, you could never even imagine him being a thief. My theory on Scizor is correct so far. It's a red Pokemon. It has the ability to punch, and it can cut things.
Excuse me?
Do you know anything about the stolen jewel? The Aurora Drop? I had never even seen the thing. It's been shut up in that storage room ever since it was brought to the house. Of course, I know it's valuable and all. I assume that's what's been causing all the arguments between Mr. and Mrs. Dennis lately. What sort of arguments? In case you haven't heard, Mr. Dennis says he's going to donate the Aurora Drop. Seems like Mrs. Dennis is against that plan. They've been fighting about it almost nightly. Every night? It must really be a point of contention. I guess Mrs. Dennis just doesn't want to give up such a valuable jewel. So the Aurora Drop's been driving a wedge between husband and wife, eh? It could be the wife. Clefable! How you doing? Clefable, all ears for mansion gossip. Oh, it's Clefable, Mr. Dennis's partner, apparently. Can I ask you a few questions? Hey! Whoa, what gives? No need to be so rude. What's wrong? Seems like she's real suspicious of us. Maybe she's feeling sensitive after the incident here? Look, we're okay, we promise.
Yes? You certainly don't look like you're with the police. State your business.
I'm a detective, Mrs. Claudia Dennis. Sanjeev Dennis's wife. I would like to ask you some questions, Mr. Dennis, Mrs. Dennis. We're detectives. Mr. Dennis asked us to investigate the incident that occurred here. Detective, so I suppose my husband did say something about that. Your husband? That must mean your... Claudia Dennis, Sanjeev's wife. I'm sorry to bother you, but do you mind if we ask you some questions? I do mind, actually. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. The case has already been solved. What do you mean? The police said that Barnes is behind all this, so the matter's settled. We've heard that he's under suspicion, yes, but we can't be certain it was Barnes who committed the crime. You sound just like my husband. And nothing you say will change the fact that Barnes is the culprit. Barnes' partner Ducklet was up to no good. I saw it with my own eyes. Did you witness the crime? Barnes' partner Ducklet was involved in the crime? You look as though you don't believe me.
Excuse me?
So true you witnessed the crime. Well, I didn't exactly see it clearly. Huh? I did witness some irrefutable proof. But what exactly did you see? At the time of the incident, I was enjoying a cup of tea in my room on the second floor. Just then I noticed a bird Pokemon flying outside the window. A bird Pokemon? Yes, I clearly saw a blue bird Pokemon. It had to have been Ducklet. We did find blue feathers near the window and in the storage room. So those were Ducklets. In hindsight, she was obviously stealing the jewel. I also heard a faint sound just before that, like something metallic. I think my scissor theory is just getting even more correct. Metallic sound? Do you know what could have made that noise? No, I don't, but the storage room was ransacked, wasn't it? Suppose she must have broken something in the act. And I've heard it confirmed that Ducklet's feathers were found in the room. Isn't that proof enough that Barnes is the culprit? She's pretty darn convinced of her own theory. But all it's based on is a metallic sound in the sight of a blue flying bird Pokemon. Pretty flimsy if you ask me. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mrs. Dennis, but that information alone isn't enough to definitively prove Barnes is the culprit. Then hurry up and find whoever it is and get that jewel back. Isn't that what my husband hired you for? I get that she's upset, but she doesn't have to take it out on us. About Barnes.
Excuse me?
Mr. Dennis seems confident that Barnes is innocent. Oh yes, I'm sure he is. He's always been too trusting, especially when it comes to Barnes. Those two really trust each other that much. I'm told Barnes has worked here for a very long time, much longer in fact, than I've known Sanjeev. Suppose that's why Barnes is always taking my husband's side. What do you mean by that? Whenever my husband and I have a disagreement, Barnes inevitably sides with Sanjeev. Even though I'm sure he believes he's being impartial, that lack of self-awareness is yet another one of his many flaws. I get the feeling Claudia's not a huge fan of Barnes. You think that's why she's so sure he's a thief? About Ducklet.
Excuse me?
Could you tell me more about Ducklet? Ducklet is Barnes' partner. She dotes on him tirelessly and is always by his side. You mentioned earlier that she might be involved in the crime somehow. Would Ducklet be capable of such a thing? Yes, she even helps Barnes out with his shopping. She'd certainly be capable of making off with a jewel. Well, whether or not Ducklet stole the jewel, the one thing that seems certain is that she really loves Barnes. About the jewel. The Aurora Drop is an incredibly valuable jewel. Mr. Dennis told me the same thing. But do you really understand? Can you even comprehend just how valuable it is? Huh? I knew it. Just look at those blank expressions. Hey, my face always looks like this. As it is, I'm not even sure my husband understands the true value of that jewel. After getting his hands on something so precious, I already went to donate it to Rhyme City. So you're against donating the Aurora Drop? Of course I am. Treasures like that aren't meant to be paraded about for the general public. They should be preserved for quiet observation by a select few. Hard to imagine her quietly doing anything. Guys, we got more testimonies. But that's not enough. About the symbol of revival. What makes the Aurora Drop a symbol of revival? 2 years ago, during the R incident, my jewel shop suffered considerable damage. Wait, you were a victim of the R incident? Yes, some Pokemon who'd been exposed to R went berserk. The rampage destroyed my shop, to say nothing of the damage done to the jewels and other goods. By that time, I already had the Aurora Drop. I kept it stored safely in the shop. So is the Aurora Drop damaged too? No, as a matter of fact, it wasn't. Of all the jewels in my shop, the Aurora Drop was the only one to remain unscathed. In fact, debris fell so perfectly around the Aurora Drop that you might believe it was being protected. That's incredible. I guess there's some magic left in the world after all. Ever since then, the Aurora Drop became known as the jewel that survived the R incident. People started visiting my shop just to see it. Thanks to that attention, my business was able to get back on its feet. Sounds like a valuable jewel, in more ways than one. What made you decide to bring it back to your mansion instead of keeping it at your shop? I decided to donate it to Rhyme City. The Aurora Drop? But why donate something so precious to you? It's not just precious to me, and that's exactly why I decided to donate it. Mayor Myers has done his part in improving our city by declaring the start of Pokemon Friendship Week. I thought it was about time I did mine, so I wanted to donate the jewel that survived the R incident as a symbol of Rhyme City's revival. I hope that by doing so, I can help liven up not just my shop, but the whole city as well. Wow, Dennis, I'm impressed. That's a wonderful gesture. I'm glad you think so. Not everyone is so pleased about it. Oh? Forget I said anything. I shouldn't burden you with concerns over such personal matters. For now, I'm counting on you to find the Aurora drop as quickly as possible. Understood. We'll do everything we can. Let's investigate the pretty sad boy Growlithe. It's Dennis's partner, Growlithe. She sure doesn't look happy. Apparently she feels responsible. No wonder she's so down. Maybe we should leave her alone for a while. Now then, Mr. Barnes, we'll thank you not to leave the mansion until further notice. Understood. Hey, it sounds like the police finished questioning Barnes. Let's go talk to him. Yeah! Brandon Barnes, butler of the Dennis residence. How'd it come to this? Why are the police so suspicious of me? Excuse me, are you Mr. Barnes? Who might you be? I'm Detective Tim Goodman. Mr. Dennis has hired me to investigate the crime that occurred here. Is that so? Well, my apologies, I am Brandon Barnes. I work here at the Dennis residence as a butler. Do you mind if we ask you some questions, Mr. Barnes? I realize you must be tired since you were just questioned by the police. Please don't worry about that. If you've been hired by Mr. Dennis, then it is my duty to give you my full cooperation. Thank you. What would you like to speak to me about first? About the time of the incident. I was away when the incident occurred. It wasn't until after I'd finished my errand and entered the house that I realized something was amiss. I heard Turner cry out from the second floor. When I rushed upstairs, I found him collapsed on the floor in front of the jewel storage room. So that means Barnes was the first witness to arrive at the scene of the crime. Did you see the thief or their partner Pokemon? No, nothing like that. Wait, if Barnes ran up the stairs, you'd think he would have run straight into the thief. If you didn't see anyone, could they have escaped from the second floor? Did you check the storage room? Yes, the door was already open, and when I looked inside, I saw that the Aurora drop was gone. I then contacted Mr. Dennis and the police right away. Is there anyone who can corroborate your whereabouts at the time? Corroborate? I don't know how that word is pronounced. Unfortunately not. I was only afterward that Mrs. Dennis came out of her room to see what commotion was about, and the only others in the house at the time were Growlithe and Clefable. Naturally, no one can take witness statements from Pokemon, so I'm afraid I have no alibi. That's where I come in. The Pokemon that live in the mansion might know something. Well, we tried to ask the two Pokemon, 3 of them, and they didn't do anything. Mr. Barnes, do you have any idea who the thief might be? Not a clue, I'm afraid, but I do know that Mr. Dennis and I are the only ones who can freely use the key to the jewel storage room. Yeah, we know that. Growlithe guards that key with constant vigilance, so I imagine it would be very difficult for anyone else to take it from her. I suppose it's no great wonder that the police suspect me given the circumstances, but I would never do something so senseless. At least this confirms that the only ones who have that only those two have access to the key. About your partner. Ducklet is my dear partner Pokemon. Just look at this photo. Oh, that's adorable. That's Ducklet with you there? Yes, isn't she adorable? Just look at her feathers. Simply beautiful. But that's not all. She's also incredibly clever and even helps me out with my work. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. I tend to get a bit carried away when I speak about Ducklet. It's really no problem. You mentioned that she helps you with your work. What exactly does she do? Let's see. She runs errands for me, such as buying coffee beans from a local cafe. Oh, she buys coffee beans? Nice. There's a place nearby called the High Hat Cafe. Perhaps you've heard of it? She regularly goes shopping there by herself. She just goes in there by herself and they give her coffee beans? If that's their go-to cafe, then it's gotta be for the hi-hat blend. Guess I shouldn't be surprised that Rhyme City's elites have such refined taste. I asked her to go to the cafe today, in fact, but she hasn't yet returned. Could she have wandered off somewhere? Do you have any idea where Ducklet might be? Unfortunately, no. The feathers found at the scene of the crime are Ducklet's, right? Yes, no question about it. But I haven't the faintest idea why Ducklet's feathers would be there. Just the thought of her getting caught up in the crime somehow. I'm so worried I can hardly think straight. Maybe, Ducklet, like, tried to escape, maybe? Like, it witnessed the crime, and then she tried to escape? I don't know. Out of all the jewels in Mr. Dennis's collection, he considers the Aurora Drop to be his most precious. He worked tirelessly to acquire it in the first place. You might even say the Aurora Drop is the physical manifestation, the crystallization of Mr. Dennis's career as a jeweler. It's a terrestrial jewel! I wish nothing but swift retribution on the thief who stole it from him. For someone who speaks so formally, Barnes is a pretty passionate guy, isn't he? Please, Tim, find the Aurora Drop, I beg you. Don't worry, sir, we're on the case.
Well,
Based on Barnes' testimony, I'm really not surprised the police suspected him. Yeah, if only there was another witness at least. About that, aren't you forgetting something, Tim? Huh? Barnes told us that Growlithe and Clefable were in the mansion at the time of the incident, remember? Oh right, maybe the Pokemon saw something. Exactly, you can leave the rest to me. Let's go question them, Tim.
Tim. Yo, Manectric, working hard?
Oh, we get the we get
What
the
did I ever
little
do to you?
things. Yeah, I forgot they just do that in the
Detective
game.
Coffee Note number 2. The water you use can change how your coffee tastes.
I remember clicking on that a few times whenever I played the original game. So we can talk to Clefable. No. I guess we'll have to talk to Growlithe first. Hey, Growlithe. Sorry to bug you when you're already feeling... Oh, sorry. Hey, Growlithe. Sorry to bug you when you're already feeling down, but would it be alright if we asked you some questions? Aww. We're here to catch the thief, and we need your help to do that. Aww. You're willing to talk to us if it'll help Sanji? Thanks. Sanji? Growlithe's nickname for Dennis, near as I can tell. Oh, right. His full name is Sanjeev Dennis, so I guess Sanji makes sense. Anyway, Growlithe, can we start with the questions? About you, Growlithe. Growl. Gotcha. As Dennis's partner, it's your job to guard the mansion. You already know the key to the jewel storage room is around your neck. Growl. It's important to Dennis, so guarding it is important to you. Makes sense. Growl. She says she'd never let anyone other than Dennis or Barnes even touch the key. Growl. So that's why you feel extra responsible for what happened, huh? She's really got a strong sense of responsibility. Don't worry, the two of us are gonna crack this case. So what were you doing at the time of the incident? Growl. You don't know because you were napping? That's how they stole the key? Growl. What? Your breakfast was so tasty that you ate too much and it made you sleepy? Heh, been there, believe me. What are you even talking about? Growl. You woke up when Barnes got home? That would have been right before all the commotion happened. And when you woke up, your precious key was gone? Growl. Yeah, I can tell you're upset. Growl. We'll do whatever it takes to help us catch the thief. Thanks. We'll come ask for an assist if anything comes up. I think it's Clefable. No, I'm kidding. Clefable is suspicious of us, though. Go, go! She says Barnes is a kind and well-mannered person. He and Dennis are close, and she's never seen them fighting or arguing. Mr. Dennis really does seem to trust Barnes, after all. Go, go! And Growlithe likes Barnes, too. Judging from what Growlithe says, it's hard to think of Barnes as a likely culprit. There wasn't anything in Growlithe's testimony that could help us prove Barnes' innocence. Only one left to ask is Clefable. I'll do what I can to get Clefable talking to us. Thanks, Pikachu. Time to deal with Clefable. Why is his wife just not in the investigation? Clefable, you better talk to us right now. What? You think we're thieves returning to the scene of the crime? You got it all wrong. We're not here to steal anything. We're actually great detectives looking to catch the thief. Please, can you answer some questions? Yes, really, come on, you can trust us. Fifi? Yes, help us out, and I'm sure Claudia's bad mood will clear up too. Fifi? So you're willing to talk to us? Thanks. Guess Clefable was worried we do something bad to Mrs. Dennis.
Hey,
Do you have a job here at the mansion? Hey. No job per se, unless you count spending time with Claudia. Isn't it tough hanging out with someone so prickly? Faye! Claudia's not a bad person, you say. Sorry, didn't mean to be insulting. Faye. So Claudia's always arguing with someone or other. But when it's just you and her together, she starts to regret the whole thing. Oh, I get it now. Your job is to cheer her up when she gets into arguments. Wow, you're actually pretty nice. I bet Clefable's really important to Mrs. Dennis. So what's the time of the incident? Did anything strange happen today? Yay! Clefable's saying she got real sleepy while playing in the mansion this morning. So it's a red Pokemon that makes people sleepy. Then she dozed off and doesn't know what happened after that. That's too bad. What do you think of Barnes? Did you get along with him alright? Claudia doesn't like Barnes, so Clefable tries not to have much to do with him. But she doesn't think Barnes is a bad person. After all, she says, Barnes ran to help Turner when he got hurt. Wait, does that mean Clefable saw Barnes going upstairs to help Turner? Yeah, it's gotta. Clefable, what else can you tell us? Clefable was dozing near the front door this morning. When Barnes got home from doing stuff outside, she woke up and greeted him at the door. Then Clefable and Barnes heard Turner cry out on the second floor, so they both went running upstairs. And that's when, to their surprise, they found Turner on the floor. That means when Turner was attacked, Barnes was still on the first floor. So it couldn't have been Barnes.
right.
So it wasn't Barnes.
Okay.
Alright, we've got some useful information. Let's stop for a moment to get our thoughts together. Based on everything we've heard, is there anything that suggests Barnes is innocent? Let's review the information we gathered and see what we come up with. The information is that yeah, it's this one.
Okay.
We learned that Clefable greeted Barnes when he returned to the mansion, and Growlithe said she woke up at exactly the same time. Barnes and the others only became aware of the crime after that. Doesn't that mean Barnes couldn't be the culprit? Barnes was on the first floor when Turner was attacked. That would have made it very difficult for Barnes to steal the jewel. Not sure we can prove Barnes' innocence with that alone. Yeah, we can't exactly disclose the testimony came from Pokemon. No one would believe us. It looks like we're going to need other evidence to prove his innocence. But we know that Barnes has an alibi. How can we prove Barnes' innocence? Pokemon testimonies alone are not enough to prove Barnes' innocence. Look for stronger evidence. We can't lift the suspicion around Barnes with Clefable's testimony alone. I think we're going to need some other kind of evidence to prove his innocence. Where should we look for it? Nothing immediately comes to mind. At times like this, it's best to try investigating other leads. We might find a thread somewhere unexpected that leads us back to this. The red Pokemon that entered the mansion is clearly involved in the incident somehow. Look for that Pokemon in Red Rhyme City. To get close to the truth of this case, we've got no choice but to find the Pokemon that witness saw. The witnesses saw. Witnesses reported seeing a red Pokemon in Ducklet. I wonder if the Pokemon that cut open the jewel case is the culprit's partner. It makes sense to think that, but no such human was seen by witnesses. Having said that, though, we might learn something if we can find the red Pokemon. Let's head into the city and get some leads on that red Pokemon. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out what that Pokemon actually is. At this point, it seems pretty unlikely that Barnes is the culprit, but then why did Ducklet leave from the second floor window? Probably was trying to escape? Seems unlikely that it's got nothing to do with the jewel thief. Finding Ducklet would be the quickest way to confirm that. Good call. Let's head into the city and look for her.
Okay.
Looks like the only way to continue our investigation is to gather info in the city. But where should we go? Should we go after Ducklet or search for the red Pokemon? If you're unsure, why don't we try following Ducklet? I think we have a better lead to go on for that than the red Pokemon. Alright, we did hear that Ducklet was supposed to buy coffee beans today. I bet you she went to the Hi-Hat Cafe. You're right, we should probably go search the cafe. Let's not waste any time, Tim. Of course you want to go to the cafe. Let me leave. Thank you for coming to help. Take care out there. Thank you. Who is this person? This person's suspicious. Huh? You mean you won't help me? I understand how you feel, ma'am, but we're in the middle of an investigation right now. Yes, but what should I do? Looks like that woman has a problem. Sure does. I doubt it has anything to do with our case, but it's not hard. But it's hard not to want to help someone who's in trouble. That's the spirit, Tim. If we see a person or a Pokemon with a problem, let's do what we can to help them. That's what makes us this city's great detectives. But we do need to prioritize our current case. This is something we can help with when we have time. Right, first let's hear what she has to say. Good idea. During your investigation, people and Pokemon may request your help solving their problems. These Pokemon and people have blue speech bubble. When you see them, try talking to them. Local concerns that you've agreed to help with are added to a list. You can check this list at any time pressing the Y button. Keep in mind some of these requests aren't necessarily problems in the strictest sense. Excuse me, may I ask what's wrong? My Lilipup's gone missing. Oh no, what happened? We were taking a walk together in Serenity Park. I guess Lillipup must have been having too much fun. He got so worked up, he took off like a rocket. I've been searching all over for him, and now I'm exhausted. That police officer won't look into it for me either. I don't know what to do. We can't just ignore this. That's right. Helping people is a detective's job, and finding lost Pokemon even more so. We'd like to help you, ma'am. We're detectives, so we're pretty good at looking for lost people and Pokemon. Really? That'd be a huge help. Can you think of anywhere your Lillipup might have gone? Well, I've already searched the park pretty thoroughly, but I haven't looked for him in the city yet. Oh, also, my Lillipup likes quiet places, but I'm not sure there are any places like that around here. I think that's enough information for us to go on. Please wait here while we search for him. I'm so sorry to add to your workload when you already look so busy, but thank you. I hope you find my sweet Lillipup. If we see a Lillipup during our investigation, we should talk to it. Okay. So they're like little side quests to the story. Did something happen? That's what these little, look at Pikachu running. Oh, that's so adorable. Look at this. Look at him run. Look at him run. He's trying to catch up. He's trying to catch up. He can't catch up. Wait a second. Wrath. Oh yeah. A Poliwrath and a Hariyama. They're squaring off. We could cut the tension with a knife. Looks like a fight could break out at any second. We should probably avoid this alley so we don't accidentally set them off. Hello? Oh no, Hariyama's facing off against Poliwrath again. Why does he act out like this? He's usually so gentle. Is something wrong? My partner Hariyama loves showing off his strength, especially when he contests against someone else's. And since Poliwrath is also proud of its muscles, Hariyama considers it as his rival. Once they start going at it, it's hard to stop them. Yikes, guess we better avoid the alley for now. Okay. Oh, it's Indeedee! I don't know if we'll see any Gen 9 Pokemon make an appearance, but let's go into the Hi-Hat Cafe. Milcery!
Oh, Tim!
Rachel. Rachel Meyer, student at Rhyme University.
Hello there.
Jessica Miller, Rachel's friend. I think it was the dude in the hat on the right. He did it. Wow, what a coincidence running into you here. Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are. I think I've seen this girl somewhere before. Well, I remember Howard's notebook. She's the girl from the photo. Yes, Pikachu, this is Rachel. We go to college together. She's the mayor's daughter? Right. You said she knows a lot about Pokemon too, didn't you? And she's just a classmate, or... See, this is why I don't like telling you about my personal life. I'm just looking out for you. I never hear you talk about actually having fun with people. Ah, well, anyway, it was the woman next to her. I know as much about as you do. I know about as much as you do. I don't think we've met before. Hey, Jessica, have you heard of these? Of course, it's an honor to meet the great detectives. By the way, Tim, were you talking to Pikachu just now? No. No need to be embarrassed. I totally understand the urge to talk with your partner. But now that you're here, why don't you chat with us for a bit? Yeah, sure. Well, can that wait for a second? I'm looking for a Ducklet. Ooh, it's a Bounsweet.
Let me see.
Please don't. Please don't. Wait, please do.
What makes Jules so irresistible to humans? It's a mystery for the ages. Okay, I'm gonna teach you some great detective.
No, I can't get him to do the drums.
Great detective tip number 7.
That's not fair. I want to see Pikachu do the drums. That's not fair. Hi, Ludicolo. I'll talk to you. You might be important to the case.
Well, look who it is.
Pablo Milan, owner of the Hi-Hat Cafe. Ludicolo, cheerful cafe assistant manager. Ludi. Looks like she's in a good mood as always. Do you think she might know something? She might. We can ask. About you, Ludicolo. Ludi? You say you got an ear for rock now, not just jazz? Ludi? Apparently a Politoed and his friends put on concerts here at night. Ludi? And you really love that music, so that's how you went from jazzist to rocka. I'd love to hear a Politoed's concert sometime. Okay, have you seen a specific Ducklet? Ludi? She says Ducklet comes to the cafe pretty often. Pablo knows more about that, apparently. Ludi? Oh, and you sometimes see Ducklet at Serenity Park? Ooh, Ludi. I see, so the pond water there is good for your fur, and you meet Ducklet there sometimes when you go to bathe. How nice that you tell each other about good swimming spots. I guess water-type Pokemon get along swimmingly with each other. Tim... No! No, don't. No. No, that's not okay. Hi, Milcery! Rich with flavor and fortune. Meow. Oh, it's a milcery. Hey, Pablo, got a new customer? Oh, you mean milcery? It's new. Just started living here, in fact. Wonder what sort of place it's from. Meow. Whoa, hey, hold on, milcery. Both Tim and Pikachu have particular blends they prefer. You can't just add cream without asking. Meow. I'd prefer to keep my coffee black, but why don't you try some cream, Tim? Sure, and it smells great. I'll give it a try next time. Meow. Hi, Tim. Did something happen today? I noticed you weren't here this morning. Yeah, I got caught up in a new case. Oh, sounds rough. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? Me? Sure, go right ahead. Okay, about the cafe.
Excuse me?
You must have been really busy moving your cafe to this new location. Do you feel all settled in now? Yeah, it feels like things are finally back to normal. I know Pikachu's been coming here on his own to drink your coffee. I hope he hasn't been causing you any trouble. Trouble? Me? I'm a paying customer, once you pick up my tab. Not at all. The cafe's way closer to your place now, and it seems like Pikachu feels comfortable here. And the Hi-Hat Cafe always welcomes Pokemon customers. Like how in this world, just like, Pokemon just can just like buy things and it's just normal. About Barnes.
Hey,
The butler from the dentist mansion, yeah, he swings by the cafe pretty often after he's done with work. Barnes is a regular customer? Yeah, he loves coffee and jazz, so we've got plenty to talk about. But apparently he's been really stressed lately, so he hasn't been stopping by as much. He's been really stressed, huh? You should probably ask for more details about that. Why is he stressed? Do you know why Barnes is stressed? Oh, well, I'm not sure it's my place to tell you about a customer's personal matters. Please, we're just trying to help. It's for Barnes' sake. Ah, so this is for a case, huh? Then I guess I'd better tell you. He was worried about the jewel that Mr. Dennis was planning to donate to Rhyme City. Apparently the Dennises had a difference of opinion about that. Barnes was trying to come up with a compromise that would satisfy both of them. But he said he just wound up getting stuck in the middle of their argument. That does sound stressful. I remember him saying he wished there was no jewel in the first place. You wish there was no jewel, huh? Anyway, that's all I know. I hope it helps. Yes, thank you. It is gonna be Barnes somehow, isn't it?
Excuse me?
Do you know the ducklet that lives at the dentist residence? Yeah, I know her. You're talking about Barnes' partner, right? She often comes here all on her own to buy coffee beans. She really is a clever little Pokemon. Just like Barnes said. She always comes with this cute little bag that I fill with beans for her. As far as I know, she takes them straight back to the mansion. In fact, she left with her usual order a couple minutes ago. Really?
let's start deducing. Okay.
Did you figure out where she went after left the mansion? Let's piece together the information we've gathered. She went out to the cafe. Yeah, apparently she goes there on a regular basis to buy them. Today was one of those days. And Pablo said that he handed Ducklet his usual order of coffee beans. So I guess Ducklet headed back to the mansion then. She might be back there already. Da-da-da-da. That still doesn't tell us much.
It is such an honor to meet you, Tim. Thank you for solving the R case. You have no idea what that meant to me.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
I see news about your accomplishments on TV and all the time. You're quite the celebrity. Celebrity? I wouldn't go quite that far. No need to be modest. You're a great detective, after all. Yeah, they even made a movie about you. Jessica used to work with my mother years ago. That's how we met. and we would have been friends, and we've been friends ever since. Oh, I see. But it's been a while since we've met up like this. About 2 years, I think. We've both been so busy lately, there just hasn't been time to get together. I had no idea you'd become friends with the famous great detective. Were you surprised? Yes, of course. Hey, I'm the great detective. By the way, Tim, I work at a pizzeria in Bamboo Borough. If you're ever in the area, stop by. I'll treat you to one of our awesome pizzas. Sweet pizza. That's delicious. I love pizza. I'm gonna go get some pizza. No, I want pizza. Thanks, Jessica. Alright, did you hear that, Tim? Let's go sometime. The pizza place where Jessica works is actually pretty famous. Sounds great, I'd love to go. I'll take you up on that offer. I'll be waiting!
Tim.
You and Pikachu must be working hard, huh?
Yeah, he's actually more helpful than he looks.
That's pretty impressive, Pikachu.
Come on, Tim. You can give me a better compliment than that. You seem different from usual somehow. Don't tell me that award my dad gave you is already starting to change you. No, of course not. I'm the same as I've always been. Are you sure? I mean, we don't really know each other all that well. Maybe you have the wrong impression of me? No way. I've had my eye on you for a while now, Tim. Excuse me? Oh, does that mean does she mean what I think she means? It's like I have a front row seat to the great detective in action. It feels like an exciting new adventure could break out at any moment. Ah, right. Did you get your hopes up for a moment there, Tim? Why, you? Tim, there's actually something I wanted to talk to you about. What's up? Well, it's about something going on at home. Sounds serious. I'm not sure how much help I'll be, but you can always talk to me. I don't want to waste your time, though. Don't worry about it. I'm working right now, but we can meet up tonight if you're free. Sure, that works. Thank you, Tim. Okay then, how about you stop by my apartment later this evening? Hey, not bad, Tim. But aren't we supposed to have dinner with your family tonight? Yeah, but this sounds serious. I can't just brush her off. The least I can do is hear her out for a little bit. Fair enough. I'm sure your family will understand.
Okay.
Let's head back to the mansion to search for Diglett. Good idea.
Tim.
What do you want?
Hey, Tim. Jessica seems really grateful to us for solving the R case 2 years ago. Nice to know our hard work wasn't for nothing.
Wait, so why do you just, keep... What was this for?
You know the drill, Tim. Wash your hands and gargle when you get home. Don't forget.
Thanks, Pikachu. You're so helpful. I love how you're always helping me. Something shining in the fountain. What could it be? Inkay! Inkay! Whoa, I knew I saw something. It was a Pokemon? That's an Inkay, Tim. It lights up its spots to communicate with friends. Never figured it'd use those lights to lure someone close enough for a prank. Yeah, it definitely surprised me. Inkay, Inkay! Hey, Inkay, maybe go easy on the jump scares, okay? Watchog! No, that voice is so adorable. And then Greedent, Watchog! Yeah, I'm saving that for later. It's such a beautiful voice. Is this my house? Yeah, it's my house. Such a beautiful voice. The voice of an angel. Uh-oh. What in the world were you doing? My apologies, sir. Did something happen, Brad? Ducklet was spotted near the mansion just now, but when my subordinates tried to catch her, they let her escape. Oh, so Ducklet had just gotten back to the mansion. Do you know where she ran off to? Unfortunately, I do not. I don't have the resources to keep searching. At this point, I'll have to call on the services of the Pokemon Protection Bureau. You, tell the inspector that I'm headed back to the station for a moment. Yes, sir. Well, Brad and Manectric are gone. But still, we have no idea where Ducklet could have run off to. Where would we even start looking? Well, now what? Should we put the search for Ducklet on hold and look for the red Pokemon instead? Yeah, sure. That's better than just spinning our wheels. There are places we haven't looked. Let's check them out. Okay, so... If you're stuck, I can help you. No, I'm gonna figure it out. And if I get lost, I'll ask you. If I start getting really lost, then I'll ask you. Maybe we can go back to, Oh, you had to take a breath for a second. Maybe, if I can't figure it out here, then I'll ask you a question. I just had to hear that again. There is Watchog. It is a red Pokemon. What are you up to? Watchog. Watchog's hobby is observing things around the city. In that case, maybe it's seen something useful? Can't hurt to ask. About the red Pokemon. There are so many red Pokemon, you don't know which one we mean? Good point. Do we know anything else about it? Let's see. We know it's a Pokemon that can use a move to slice clean through hard objects, and that can easily knock down a human with a punch. Watcho? You haven't seen any Pokemon like that around here? Alright then. What about Ducklet? I pressed the wrong button. I can press those again? That's stupid. Wait, really? What's it saying? You gotta tell me too. Right, sorry. It says it saw Ducklet pass by here. She passed by here. She was probably on her way to the cafe after all. Oh, you never get bored in the city because there are so many different people and Pokemon to watch? It must be fun having eyes like yours, especially since it lets you see in the dark. Useful. So useful. Watchog!
Drop! Hey, wait up!
Catch it!
It's gone.
Oh,
It ran down the street, right? Let's follow it so we can ask some questions. I just hope we can find it. Huh, it's not here. Must be hiding somewhere. Well, no point hanging around here. Let's go interview with someone else. Lillipup! We found a Lillipup! Did someone say Wuggies? Lily? Say, Pikachu, isn't this? Yeah, it's Lillipup. It may indeed be the partner of that woman we met in front of the dentist residence. Let's ask. Hey there, Lillipup. What are you doing way over here? Pup. I see. Apparently she was having so much fun running around that she wasn't paying attention to where he was going. Next thing he knew, he was here. Just like that woman said earlier. He says he misses his partner. Okay, we're gonna tell her to bring her... We're gonna go tell her and bring her here to you, Lillipup. Lillipup, I'm so glad you've been found. Boop boop. Thank you so much for finding my dear Lillipup, Detective. You're welcome. I'm glad we could help. Lily. You ran away because you weren't getting enough playtime, didn't you? Lily. Alright then, we can play together as much as you like today. Boop boop. We solved the case. Guess that's settled. Yeah, it was nice to see them both so happy. We did it. But that doesn't help in our investigation. Shoot. Where do I go? There's feathers. There's, that there. Guess we gotta go back to the Fountain Plaza. I am very confused. Great job, Maractus. Your dancing is so cute. From the top. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that doesn't help me at all. Hello? This is real bad. That boy looks pretty down. Sorry to bother you, but is everything okay? You look unhappy about something. Oh, you're the detective in Pikachu I saw on TV. Awesome, a detective's just what I need. Can you tell us what's bothering you? Well, we got a match coming up against the Tonti Park Soccer Club. I didn't know Tawny Park even had a soccer club. One of their members has a Scrafty as their partner, and they're so good. So I'm worried we're going to lose. I want a partner Pokemon I can play with too. But I can't find any Pokemon that are good at soccer. Gotcha. Sounds like we better search for a Pokemon with good footwork. Are we going to find a Scorbunny? Can you think of any Pokemon that can play soccer really well, Mr. Detective? None immediately spring to mind, but I'll be sure to tell you if I find one. Really? Thanks, Mr. Detective. I sure hope we can find a Pokemon that likes playing soccer. There's got to be one somewhere in Rhyme City. Oh, please say we can find a Scorbunny. That would be so beautiful. Not exactly for certain where we could go next. I'm confused. I'm gonna need help. Gotta figure out what this red Pokemon actually is. Let's head into the city and ask around. The comment we found was stuck to me like a sore thumb. Ah, we can ask a Whimsicott. Try not letting your pranks go too far, alright? Whimsicott. I need to ask you questions. Shoot. What do I do? What do I do? Ah, there's two Whimsicott here. Whimsy? Good. They seem happy. What are they talking about? They're saying that no matter how many times they visit the city, it's always bustling and full of fun. Do you suppose they witnessed anything? We can certainly ask. About you, Whimsicott. Whim! Oh, you ride on seasonal winds that take you all over the world, huh? The city seems even livelier than usual whenever the Whimsicott arrive. Whimsy! Ah, okay. Soon you'll be leaving the city to travel somewhere else. Whim! Oh, you like coming here every year because you can meet so many different Pokemon? Oh, I'm happy to hear that. That's the cotton, Whimsicott.
Mm-hmm.
Is this cotton yours? Whim, whim! Yeah, but Whimsicott say it's theirs. You actually found this in Mr. Dennis's mansion. I don't suppose you've been in there. Whimsy? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Come on, you gotta remember at least that much. Whimsy! Oh, this one does remember. What did it say? It thinks it remembers going into the mansion while playing with its friends. It thinks so? That's not a very clear answer. Yeah, let's ask for more details. How did you get into the residence? Mr. Whimsicott, you said you might have been in the mansion, but how'd you get inside? Whim. You went in through the window with your friends. Why would you do that? Whimsy. You don't remember anything after eating breakfast this morning. The heck does that mean? Please, it's really important. Just try to remember. Whimsy. Some human you don't know asked you to do it? What was this stranger like? Whimsy. You don't remember because it was someone you'd never seen before, huh? Now look here, you might be an accessory to theft. God? You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? You think the Whimsicott may have been unknowingly involved in the crime? If they were, they're blissfully ignorant of it. After all, playing pranks is kind of their whole deal. This complicates things. Not a red Pokemon. Have you two seen any red Pokemon around here? Cut! Oh, Pawniard is red, and you've become friends with one. Pawniard! It all makes sense. Bisharp and Pawniard are both metal Pokemon. They're red, and they have knives as like hands and stuff. It's a Pokemon with blades all over its body. It's true that Pawniard's pretty red. Good. You often run into Pawniard at the terrace in Serenity Park. And on windy days, you play with Pawniard by picking it up and flying it around. Whim. They say they like to fly Pawniard all the way here from Serenity Park. Serenity Park is the big park just beyond here, right? Yeah, and the terrace is way over on the far side. Maybe we can find Pawniard there. Do you remember when you last played with Pawniard? Whimsy? Oh, lately you've been playing together every day, even today? In that case, we might be able to find it there now. Whimsy! If we go meet Pawniard, we should be careful about how we treat its favorite rock. It has a favorite rock? Whimsy whim! Apparently there's a rock at the terrace that Pawniard really cares about. One time they accidentally stepped on it, and then Pawniard got all mad. Real mad. Wow, that's scary. We better watch where we step. Ducklet! I don't suppose they've seen Ducklet around, have they? Him? Whimsy! Women! Okay, I get it. You didn't see her. Whimsy! They didn't see her. I wonder where she went. Do you suppose Pawniard is the red Pokemon we're looking for? Apparently, it's good friends with the Whimsicott that went into the mansion. So it seems pretty likely. It'd probably be fastest just to go meet it and ask. Whimsicott said they often meet up with Pawniard in Serenity Park, right? Right. Searching there might be our best shot at finding Pawniard. No time like the present. Let's head over there, Tim. How do I get to Serenity Park? Ah. Look at that. This place is huge. Yeah, that's Serenity Park for you. Whimsicott said Pawniard hangs around here. And the terrace is their usual meetup spot. Shall we go look? Oh, reboot! Score a hat trick. Oh, it's a reboot. What are you up to? Reboot? You're just about to do some dribbling practice here by yourself? Dribbling practice? Yeah, Reboot are pretty good at that kind of footwork. They're always practicing. In that case, Reboot might be willing to join some soccer games. You're right, and this one says it's got some really impressive techniques. Hey, Reboot, I know a kid that'd love to kick a ball around with you. If you've got some time, would you be willing to play with him? Reboot! You will? Great. That's great, I'll go get him. Rab! Those eyes, they look really fired up. This Pokemon is the coolest, Mr. Detective. Try talking to it. I'm sure it'll be willing to practice with you. Really? Hey, Rabu, want to play soccer with me? Rabu. It nodded. Thank you, Raboot. Okay, let's get this practice started. We're gonna win the match for sure now. Good luck. Hope you do well. Thanks. Hope we can be friends, Raboot. Rab. Raboot is the best sage of all of the Galar starters. I guess soccer players don't need words to hit it off when they share a love of the game. Yeah, even without speaking the same language, they seem to understand each other's feelings. I did it! My favorite Galar starter. Ooh, there's Serena. There's, whatchamacallit, Purloin over there. Ribombee.
You there! Wait, you wouldn't happen to be that great detective duo, would you?
Random guy that looks a lot like Jock, Charles Murlock.
I am such a huge fan of yours.
Oh dear, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Charles Murlock. I'm a scientist working here in Rhyme City to deepen our understanding of Pokemon. A scientist, huh? What's that? You'd like to hear more about what I do? Actually, my research has been recognized by Mayor Myers himself. Now I'm helping out with a new policy that he and the city council are working on. You might say I'm the brains behind Rhyme City's latest policies. This guy is intense, and he seems like the type that doesn't even listen to what others are saying. And if you two great detectives have any questions for me, by all means, fire away. After all, I have something in common with you both. We're all working to help Rhyme City. Alright, so I'm gonna ask you some questions then. We're all coming from the same place, comrades with the same goals. So I'm prepared to answer any questions you have. Thank you. Guess our only choice is to play along for a bit. What a drag. About your research.
Excuse me?
What sort of research are you doing, Mr. Murlock? My research explores the nature of communication between people and Pokemon. Sounds complicated. No, it's quite simple, really. We're just trying to help Pokemon understand human language. Imagine what that'd do for Rhyme City. It'd make life here so much more entertaining and simple. A whole city where people and Pokemon can go back and forth like we can? Huh. That really would make Rhyme City an even better place. Don't you think?
Excuse me?
What exactly do you do to help the mayor with policy development? My domain is science, not politics. I can't actually propose new legislation. What I can do, though, is develop new machines and equipment. I also help distribute them to the people and Pokemon of Rhyme City. I'm proud to contribute to my city with the power of science. That's wonderful, isn't it? Mayor Myers came up with the idea for a bill to help people and Pokemon coexist, so I feel duty-bound to use my position as a scientist to support it. Sounds like he's warming up for a speech. I can tell how passionate you are about improving the city. Alright, that's it then.
Oh, can I ask you a favor, Pikachu? Would you allow me to give you a quick health exam?
That sounds creepy.
Ow! Hey, what'd you just do to me?
Oh dear, is Pikachu upset with me? Well, I don't know what you did. I only plucked a bit of fur, and the test results should be ready in just a moment. What are you doing? What exactly are you doing? This is a machine I created at Mayor Meyer's request. It can measure Pokemon's vital signs in record time. In other words, it's made to quickly check a Pokemon's health. I'd say that it's a good thing for both people and their partners, wouldn't you? Yeah, but why do you have to rip out his hair? Like, why do you have to do that? Yeah, it sure sounds like it. Way to bury the lead. Okay, it's ready. Let me see. What'd it say? It's detecting caffeine? Did someone say caffeine? Seeing as he's working as a detective, I figured this was no ordinary Pikachu. But these results are truly fascinating. Hello, Mr. Murloc? Oh, do forgive me, he's quite alright. No problems at all. Hold on. Alright, we're back. I suppose his triglycerides are a bit high for a Pokemon. My what? He does seem slightly different from regular Pikachu, though. Huh? Is there something weird about me? Well, now that you finished your checkup, I think we better get going. Ah, yes, sorry to have taken up so much of your time. Good luck, great detectives. Thank you. Come on, Pikachu, stop sulking and let's go. High triglycerides. Ugh. You know, I do have no idea what that was about. Alright, need to find Pawniard. It's a Lily. It's the Lily. Oh, it's Phalanx! Hi, Phalanx! Rock. I wanna rock!
This is the top, yeah?
Look at that, Pikachu.
Huh?
From here, you have a perfect view of the dentist residence.
Hey, Tim, what are you thinking? I'm pretty sure that window's the one in front of the jewel storage room. A Pokemon capable of flying could go straight into the mansion from here. Yeah, if our thief was getting help from a Pokemon, that'd be the perfect vantage point. This is where the Whimsicott usually meet up with Pawniard, right? That's what they said, but I don't see it anywhere. If it was here earlier, maybe it left some kind of sign. Well, Pawniard are known for their blades. It's not much, but it's the only lead we've got. We better get looking. There was the rock. I saw the rock. It had some scratch marks on it. What's up with this rock? It's covered in gashes. Has something been scratching at it? These gashes look like they were left by something sharp, like a blade. I doubt a human could be strong enough to make clean cuts like these. I feel like I've got everything that I need for that. Oh, that's... It's just like, I saw something on the ground. That's just the arrow telling me to go back down. Oh, Whimsicott fluff. This cotton... It probably fell here when the Whimsicott were playing with Pawniard. I'm not ready yet. Ooh, leaves. These torn up leaves have rough, uneven edges. Do you suppose Pawniard did that? They look like they were bitten, not cut. Siwada?
Let's start deducing. Okay.
Did you figure out where the red Pokemon is? Search for the one that's possible that torrent leaves with rough, uneven edges were left by Pawniard, who was eating them. No, I feel like it might have to be this one. No! If we search for where they flew off together, maybe we'll find Pawniard there. Where exactly did they fly off to? To the dentist's residence? Exactly, we're not going to find Pawniard there, even if we search the place from top to bottom.
Okay.
So, then it would be the rock?
Okay.
We did find a rock that was covered in slashes, as if it had been cut up by sharp blades. Maybe those slashes were made by Pawniard. That's definitely the rock that the Whimsicott were talking about. So if we go where the rock is, we might find Pawniard there. Alright, let's take a look around that rock.
Well,
Can you think of any way to draw Pawniard here? Climb on the rock.
Oh,
Whimsicott said that Pawniard got angry when they stepped on the rock. Oh yeah, you're right. Good memory. Maybe Pawniard will show up if one of us climbs on it. Worth a shot. Let's give it a try. Pikachu is gonna die. How's this? I just hope it's actually here to see this. Oh, Pikachu's gonna die. Pawniard! It's impressive swordplay. It's Pawniard. Just like Whimsicott said. Pun, pun, pun! Okay, it's saying, Darest thou tread upon my cherished rock? What is the meaning of this? Thine answer shall determine thine fate. I will show thee no mercy. Wait, what? Wow, it's really angry. Sorry, we just wanted to find you. We weren't trying to mess with your rock or anything. Hun? Phew, thank goodness. That said he'll forgive us, but just this once. Pun? You want to know why we're looking for you? Fair enough. We got some questions we'd like to ask you. Would you mind talking with us for a bit? Pun? It says it'll talk. Okay, about the dentist's residence. We heard from some Whimsicott that they went to Mr. Dennis's mansion. Were you the one who went there with them? Pawn? Pawniard's not sure if it was the same place, but it vaguely remembers going to a big house. Pawn? It says it entered the house together with the Whimsicott. How did you get inside the mansion? Apparently Pawniard likes to get picked up and flown around by Whimsicott. So you think you might have gotten inside the mansion that way. Did you happen to cut a jewel case when you were in that mansion? Pawn? So you can remember the sensation of cutting through something, but the rest is a blur. This is important, so please try to remember. Pawn? It says its mind feels all foggy, but it just can't remember what was going on at the time. That sure makes things difficult. Pawn? Have you seen Ducklet around anywhere? Pawn? Yeah, hasn't seen her. Great, where could Ducklet have gone? Well, that was a very easy one. About you, Pawn. So you've been traveling all over as part of your journey to warriorhood. I'm sorry, did you just say journey to warriorhood? You know, is it gonna become whatchamacallit, King Gambit? Yeah, that's the evolution. Apparently it travels all over the place to practice and improve its moves. Pawn. It says that because it was born with these blades, it wishes nothing more than to master them. I was born with these knives. I'm going to use them. If Pawniard is that part of its blades, I bet they have razor-sharp edges. Pawn. It says it can easily slice a rock in two. This might sound a bit strange, but you haven't punched anyone recently, have you? Okay, I feel like if it punched someone with those blades, it would stab them. Pawniard said it's never punched a single person or poked one in its life. Pawn. Hold on. I need to look at Bisharp. Okay, Bisharp does have what could look like something to punch someone. I mean, I don't know if that would be considered blades, though. Good point. You could cut something with those hands of yours, but you definitely couldn't punch it. Yeah, on second thought, you'd wind up with a different injury if you were punched by a Pawniard. Or are there any other Pawniard in the city besides you? Pawn? What's it saying? Apparently it's never seen any other Pawniard. We finally managed to find Pawniard, but we weren't able to learn anything useful from it. Yeah, and some of what it said even contradicted testimony we gathered earlier. Maybe we could get more information if we had proof that Pawniard entered the mansion. Pawn? It's asking if we are done here so we can get back to training. What sort of training does it do? Pawn? It's planning on cutting rocks and things to sharpen its skills and blades. Cut rocks? Wow, would it be willing to demonstrate for us? Ooh, good idea. It would be a big help to see what a cut from a Pawniard looks like. Fun! Yeah, it says it would happily grace us with a demonstration. Thank you, we'll watch quietly so you can focus. We're gonna watch him cut the rock in half. This clean slice and the metallic sound Pawniard's blade made when it made contact. It all matches with what we know of the crime scene. That means the Pokemon that entered the mansion must have been Pawniard. But neither Whimsicott nor Pawniard remembers clearly what's up with that. I can't imagine that the Pokemon are lying. Their behavior is pretty unusual, but there must be a good reason for it. We looked all over the place, but we haven't seen Ducklet anywhere. Apparently she almost got caught earlier, but then ran away. So maybe she's hiding somewhere? Then how are we gonna find her? We couldn't get much useful information from Pawniard. I think Ducklet is our only good lead now. I guess we'll need to keep asking around then. I don't know. Maybe she got scared and went into hiding. If she did, it'll be really hard for just the two of us to find her. Yeah, how should we look for her then? Good question. How about we ask a Pokemon to help us? A Pokemon? Yeah, Pokemon have all sorts of special skills. Maybe there's a Pokemon that can help us find Ducklet. Do you think it'd be willing to help us, though? I'm sure one of the Pokemon in the dentist residence would gladly help us out. After all, the thief happened in their own home. Good point. Let's go back to the mansion and ask the Pokemon there for help.
Tim. So, your hands are blades, huh? Wow, that's pretty neat.
Pikachu almost died! So, I think this is where we get introduced to Growlithe and its abilities, because there's a bunch of Pokemon that can help out. Who are you? How wonderful to meet you, Detective. Seriously, it's an honor.
Yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Can I help you, or... do you really not know who I am? It's kind of a big deal on the Round University campus, and I know you go to school there too. Know anything about this so-called big deal, Tim? Not that I can think of. They call me the quiz professor. I'm actually still a student, but that's what they call me. And this is my partner, Toucannon. That is not what a toucan should sound like. So you're the quiz professor? That's me. I'm majoring in Pokemon studies. I can't resist sharing the knowledge I've learned, so I quiz all sorts of people. That explains the nickname. This quiz professor is definitely on the eccentric side. Kano. I'll admit, you got me there. A Pikachu doing detective work is pretty eccentric too. Why don't we celebrate our meeting with the quiz? We're pretty busy working on a case right now. Okay, here's the first question. In one ear and out the other. Oh well, guess it can't hurt to play along. I guess, here goes for nothing. A Pokemon catches prey using its long tongue. The Pokemon in question is somewhere in this very city, so get out there and look for it. What's your tongue like, Toucannon? Mind opening up that beak of yours? No! Nothing extraordinary here. Thanks anyway. A Pokemon with a long tongue, huh? You know, if there's one nearby, it shouldn't take us too long to find. When you find the Pokemon in question, come tell me what it is. I'll be waiting right here. Answer correctly, and I'll even teach you some trivia about it. Well, I know exactly who she's talking about. It's over here. I literally saw it 2 seconds ago. It was like down here? Look down. Looked every flavor life has to offer. That's a long tongue. I'm amazed it stretches so far. Say, Tim, this Lickitung might be the answer to that quiz question. I think you're right. Let's go tell the quiz professor. So I think I'm probably going to end after I talk to her once. Unless she's going to give me more quiz questions. Hold on. So, Detective, did you figure out the answer to my first question? It's Lickitung, right? Bingo! Yes, you got it. Lickitung uses its long tongue to catch its prey. According to reports, contact with its saliva causes a tingling sensation, as well as a persistent itch. Oh wow, good thing you didn't get licked. Oh, I'm feeling itchy just imagining it. God, no. Thanks for the warning, Toucanon. We'll make sure any Lickitung we meet keeps its tongue to itself. Well, that was only the first question. I guess it was a little too easy. Are you saying there's more? Of course, and here's where they get serious. Time for question number 2. Shoot. I didn't hear what that said. What Pokemon tries to steal from people? I think the cute looks part is our biggest hint. Furline! Pretty sure it's not you, Toucanon. God, no. Totally. Okay, Tim, let's search the area. I know there's a Purloin. I think Lifert's the evolution, right? Purloin's the original form. It's over here. I saw it. Adorable deceiver. What a cute Pokemon. That's a Purloin. Brrr. Oh, how sweet. I think it wants some attention. Sorry we're busy now, but we can play with you later. Hold up, Tim. Check your pockets. Why would I need to check my... Wait, what? My pen's gone! I thought so. This is your doing, isn't it, Purloin? Can't pull one over on a great detective like me. Now hand it over. Paul's where we can see him. Brrr. Oh, my pen! Well, you can't take your eyes off this Purloin for a second. Yeah, that was a close one. At least you figured out the answer to the quiz question. Right, it's Purloin. Let's go tell the quiz professor. Run, Pikachu, run! Let's go, Pikachu! But not the game, because it's the worst Pokemon game of all time. Well, the worst main series Pokemon game. So, Detective, did you figure out the answer? It's Purloin. Ding ding ding, that's correct. Purloin often steal things from people, and they sometimes scratch people who try to reclaim those stolen items, so be careful of their claws. The Purloin we met wasn't that rowdy. But we should probably be careful in the future. True, better safe than sorry. God, no? It's asking if we agree that quizzes can actually be pretty fun. There's certainly a chance to learn more about Pokemon. Okay, let the quiz continue. Time for question 3. Best buds always stick together. What Pokemon moves is... I literally can see it in the background. A Pokemon that moves as a group. Like, one that travels in herds or flocks or something? Nope, in this case, the whole group counts as one Pokemon. Is that even a thing? It's a Mousehold. Can you give us a hint, Toucanon? Dunno. Well, it's not very sporting. This Pokemon has quite the unique appearance. Go ahead and see if you can find it. I see it right there. It's Phalanx. Lockstep formation. Lynx. Wow, these movements are in perfect unison. That's Phalanx. They always move around in groups of 6. Lynx, Link. They're in the middle of formation training. Pikachu, do you think Phalanx is the Pokemon the quiz professor was talking about? 6 working together as one. Yep, that fits the bill. Let's go tell her the answer. That was literally so easy, I could see it from here. I have the answer to the final question. It's phalanx, right? Wow, it was the final one. I actually thought she was going to give me more questions. Bingo, that's it. Phalanx is a very popular Pokemon. There are actually 6 of them working together as one. The one at the front, known as the Brass, leads the others by issuing orders. In battle, they change formation as needed and use teamwork to secure the win. That's a pretty interesting Pokemon. Sure, but I bet it's tough for the troopers if they've got an incompetent Brass. If you should take off the first 2 letters, it just sounds like a bad insult. Yeah, sorry, I'm sure they're all perfectly competent. That's all for today's quiz. I hope you're as enthusiastic about quizzes and Pokefacts as I am. Yes, I learned a lot. I'm glad to hear it. I'll get some new questions ready for next time. Oh, okay, please let them be easy ones. And maybe she could, wait till we're not in the middle of something. Gunno. Yeah, see you, Toucanon. Well, that is going to be it for this episode of Detective Pikachu Returns. Next time, we're going to get help from the Pokemon in the mansion to solve the crime of the Jewel Thief. This game is fun so far. I can't wait to see how the story's going to continue. But yeah, Pikachu, what do you have to say?
Hey, Tim. I know you're busy investigating, but I really want some coffee right now.
No. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.